Okay, let's talk about paper 1, question 3, the structure question. Does it ever feel like a bit of a mystery? Well, today we are going to pull back that curtain. We're going to see exactly how writers use structure, not just to tell a story, but to build suspense and grab you as a reader. And we're going to turn that mystery into full marks. So, what is the big secret to getting full marks here? Honestly, it's not as complicated as you might think. The key is to stop seeing the text as just a big block of words and start seeing it as a carefully planned journey, a journey the writer is taking you on, step by step. And it's a journey that's worth 8, count 'em, 8 crucial marks. That's a huge chunk of your grade. So today we are going to map out exactly how you can secure every single one of them. Right, so to get those marks, first things first, we've got to crack the code. What do examiners actually mean when they talk about structure?
You know what? It's way simpler than it sounds. Seriously, forget all the complex literary theories for a second. At its core, structure is just the path the writer creates for you. It's all about the order they show you things in and where they choose to shift your focus. None of this is an accident. It's all a deliberate construction.
Now, here's the best part, like a total game changer. The exam question itself is basically giving you a cheat code. It literally hands you a perfect 3-paragraph plan for your answer. Talk about the beginning, talk about how the focus changes, and then talk about the ending. That is our roadmap. Okay, enough theory. Let's see this in action. We're going to use a fantastic extract from The Silk Factory by Judith Olnat. Let's dive right in at the beginning and see how the writer makes their opening move. Okay, right off the bat, notice how the writer doesn't ease us in gently. Nope, they drop us straight into a mystery. We have this really normal, everyday scene standing at the sink, looking at the garden, and then it's totally shattered by just 2 little words, stranger child. So what's really happening here is a brilliant use of contrast. The writer throws in that massive narrative hook, the stranger child, in the very first line. Then they deliberately place that mystery inside a really calm, normal setting. But then they add that little detail about the old glass that blunted the image. It's a bit of foreshadowing that just makes us feel like, something's not quite right here. It's all designed to make you, the reader, start asking questions immediately. All right, now for what is, I think, the absolute key to a top-level answer, and that is identifying the pivot. This is that moment, usually somewhere in the middle, where the writer deliberately changes our focus to ramp things up and manipulate our interest. And there it is. Did you feel that? The whole focus shifts. And it shifts dramatically. We pivot from Rosie's internal kind of dreamy thoughts to the sudden, jarring appearance of this child. And then the writer zooms our attention onto this really threatening description of the garden. This moment right here, this is the engine of the story's tension. I want you to think of it like a camera movement in a film. The writer pulls the camera away from a wide, peaceful shot of Rosie's thoughts, and then suddenly crash zooms onto this unsettling close-up of a malformed hand in the garden. That structural move is what takes us from mild curiosity into real, genuine suspense. So let's break that down. The focus moves from internal thoughts to the external world. The pace slows right down for that creepy description, building tension, and then it zooms in on the girl. This whole sequence is deliberately crafted to completely shatter that initial feeling of peace and to make the reader feel just as uneasy as Rosie does. It's brilliant. Okay, we've had the hook, we've had the pivot, now for the final punch, the ending. A great structure doesn't just stop, it leaves a powerful, lasting impression. So after all that careful, slow-burned buildup of unease and mystery, bam, it hits us with a short, sharp shock. We get her internal thoughts, her decision to go outside, and then nothing. The moment is gone. The writer delivers that climax with that incredibly stark, simple final sentence. And structurally, what they've done is create this really neat circular pattern. The story begins with the child appearing and ends with her disappearing. Now that is such a clever move because it resolves the immediate action, but it makes the bigger mystery even deeper. We're left with so many questions, which is a classic suspense technique. Okay, so you can spot the beginning, the middle, and the end. That's good. That's a solid foundation. But you're here for the top marks, right? So how do we push that analysis from being just good into that great grade 9 territory? Well, the difference is all in the why. Take a look. A good answer states what happens. The focus shifts.
Fine. But a great answer explains why the writer does it. It analyzes the effect on you, the reader. It uses those precise analytical verbs like deliberately pivots to show intent, and explains that it's done to shatter the peaceful tone and create unease. It's not about what happens, it's about what it does.
So let's boil this all down. Here is your repeatable 3-step plan for any text they throw at you on this question. First, the opening. How do they hook you? Second, the shift. Where does the focus change? And crucially, why? And third, the ending. How does it all wrap up to leave a lasting impact? This is your toolkit. Use it. At the end of the day, structure is simply the writer's map. It's a map designed to guide your emotions. So the real test is, next time you read, can you spot that journey? Can you trace the map they've laid out for you? Once you can do that, you've totally mastered this question.